In an earlier video, we spoke about our problems editing the running videos for Singapore frontrunners. We tried to do this kind of stacking effect in Adobe Premiere, and it was quite hard to edit the video because it became too slow. The previews wouldn't render in real time, and when we tried to match up the music, it doesn't work. So we had to export this into an MP4 file and re-import it, and then use that to do the final editing in the final timeline and match it up with the music. Now, today we are looking at a new option. This is Final Cut Pro, and it looks quite promising. This is the project in Final Cut Pro that I've just created. It looks quite similar, the effect we're getting. This is the warm-up sequence with the three videos stacked vertically. And I'll explain to you how I got here. We actually went through quite a few steps to get this kind of effect working in Final Cut Pro. Now the reason is this: in Adobe Premiere, there is a plugin for Insta360. It's called the Insta360 Reframe plugin. With the Reframe plugin, we are able to select the angle of view for a particular clip. So, for example, if I want to do I want to move this up or down, I want to do it more distorted or less distortion, there is a Insta360 Reframe plugin. In Final Cut Pro, there isn't. Has its own kind of orientation feature here, meaning that it recognizes 360-degree clips like this, and it's able to interpret these 360-degree clips and then allow you to switch to the angle, whether to pan left and right or maybe to tilt up and down. So the first step in editing a 360-degree video with Final Cut Pro is that we need to create these clips. These are MP4 files, MPEG-4 files. These are flat files, but with the 3D metadata embedded inside. Let me show you how. The way I created these clips is with the Insta360 Studio. Let me just start over again. Okay. With Insta360 Studio, we're able to load in our raw video from the Insta360 X5 camera and export it in MP4 format, 360-degree video. Let's create a new project. Okay. Now, for the ratio, make sure that we set 2:1, 360-degree panorama. This will create a 360-degree version of our video that we can edit in Final Cut Pro. Let's confirm. Then we import the files. To import the files, just browse into our micro SD card and select the VID files. So for this demo, I'll just simply select the first 4 files. Open. Now, the next step is to drag this into a timeline. Okay. Just select everything and just drag into the timeline. Yeah, okay. Then the next step, okay, is to export. There's export button here. Click on that. Now, what's important is that we need to export as multiple clips, meaning that each of these will be exported as an individual MP4 file in 360-degree mode, right? Preset, we can set to none. Resolution is the highest, which is 8K, since our video was recorded 8K. Frame rate, we'll use 30, which is actually 29.97, because that's how we recorded the video. Bit rate, set it to the maximum. 200 seems to be a max, and that gives us the highest quality so that we don't lose any pixels when we move over to Final Cut Pro. Encoding format, use H.265 because it's better compressed than H.264. Okay, and then just click export. Right. When that's done, we will get the clips. I've done it earlier. It looks like this untitled folder. Yeah, I've exported 7 clips and it looked like this. It's just numbered 1 to 7, which is kind of unfortunate. The original timestamp from Insta360 had, well, the original file names from Insta360 had timestamp information inside it. But right now it's all gone. It's just clip 1 to 7. I mean, it's not really that bad, but it's just annoying. You know, I have no way of tracing back to the origin. You know, our provenance is broken. But anyway, we'll tackle this some other day. Maybe we'll rename the files back according to the original file name. Now, moving on, we have these clips here. How do we use them in Final Cut Pro? Okay, let me quit Final Cut Pro and restart it again so that I can show you from scratch what we did. Final Cut Pro is here. Okay, let's just create a new library. Everything, okay, let's see. Can I just close this? Okay, good. Oh, okay. Don't think that's going to work, but let's try. In Final Cut Pro, everything needs to be inside a library. It's a different concept from Adobe Premiere. In Premiere, everything begins with a project, and then you start importing the clips into a project. In Final Cut Pro, everything goes into a library. So the concept is a bit different. Okay, now let me figure out how to create a new library. Let's say, okay, close library. Fine, that's good. Yeah, so when you start Final Cut Pro for the very first time, we will see this interface. It says you must create a library. It will not allow you to create a project before creating a library. So let's do that. Create a library. I'll just call it, okay, Untitled 1, fine, save it. Now we import the media. Now this part becomes quite familiar to people who are using Adobe Premiere. We just import the media here. There are some folders here, but I believe they're empty. Anyway, click on Import Media. And find the clips that we exported early on. There are 7 clips here. I'll just take all 7 clips. Control A. Yep, there's a nice preview of all 7 clips, and it's quite fast. Anything interesting here? Okay, no, just import all. It will recognize this as a 360-degree video. This is what we call the equi-rectangular projection. It will take a 360-degree video, but it will map it into a 2x1 rectangle, 360 degrees horizontally and 180 degrees vertically. It will recognize that this is a 360-degree video because when we edit it, it will recognize it. But first, let's tell Final Cut Pro that we need to create a vertical video, not a 360-degree video. To do that, we click Create Project. Click this. Hang on. Yeah. Okay, we will create a project here. Now notice that it doesn't ask you for the project settings. It doesn't ask you whether it's horizontal or vertical and what resolution. It will set it based on the first clip properties. Therefore, our plan is that we will create this empty project. Then we will drag in one of our vertical videos. And this will create a project that has got vertical video settings. Right? Let's go ahead and create it. Okay. Now, as mentioned earlier on, we need to drag the first clip to configure the project. Therefore, I will need to import in my vertical video, and we'll use it as the first clip. Import media, right click. My vertical video is under here. We'll take the vertical video for Sunset Way. It's in the Premiere folder. And the vertical video is called Real1.mp4. Yeah, kind of cool. It detects the projection mode, whether it's a normal rectangular video or a 360-degree equi-rectangular video. But today we're now using a vertical video, which is rectangular. Just import. Then, like the instructions said, we will drag this into the timeline Okay, this is a bit annoying. I need to get used to this. When you start dragging, it will, it will think that you're trying to, select a part of the video. So the trick is that do not drag horizontally, always drag vertically, and that will keep it there. Is it the first slot? Yeah. Okay, one. Yeah. Notice that it snaps into the slot. It doesn't really leave a space in there. Now, once you've done this, you see that this is our project. Our project has now been conformed to the vertical video format. This is 4K resolution in 4K vertical format. Right. Okay, now we can start dragging in the other clips. So for example, to do the warm-up sequence, I would pick clip 2. I'll drag this into a timeline like this. Okay. I will take clips 2 and 3 also, and then they'll overlay. Oh no, okay, I've done that again. There needs to be an easier way to fix this, but yeah, I keep dragging horizontally and it keeps doing a trim of the clip. Why can't I drag all the way up? Come on, move. Yeah, it's a bit weird, a bit wonky. Okay, click and drag vertically there. There isn't a track for the second clip, but apparently when I drop it, it creates a track. So quite nice, it's quite neat. Now let's do the same thing for clip 3, and hopefully I won't drag horizontally. Drag vertically downwards. I need to get used to this. Yeah, there you go. Now notice that it's now previewing the video. I'm not even clicking on it. I don't need to drag and scrub. It will preview as I move the cursor. So quite cool, right? And notice that it has fixed the distortion. The clips are no longer distorted. It will actually understand that this is a 360-degree video, and it has kind of flattened it. Remember that we're editing in Premiere. We had to use the Insta360 reframe plugin. Well, no need to do that anymore. The reframe plugin is not supported in Final Cut Pro anyway, but instead we will see this orientation, this new thing here. Right? Orientation is the replacement for the Insta360 in reframe plugin. So now we can do things like mapping is normal, or mapping we can do a tiny planet, the super distorted way, which is quite awful anyway. Let's use normal. Field of view. How much of it do we want to see? We want to ideally see more people and fit in things, horizontally into our video. Pan tilt roll. In Adobe Premiere, we had to do a tilt of the video to remove my my hand from the video. We could do the same here, although I don't see my hand here. I'm not sure why. Let's do some adjustment. We could tilt it. Okay, there you go. My hand is there. So if I tilt it a bit, it will go there. But maybe I want to move this down, because if I'm going to stack the videos, I'm going to push it, to the bottom of the frame. Maybe few of you can, can't distort it. But anyway, I can play around with the. They also transform settings like the position X, Y, Z. Maybe I need to move it up or down. Okay, and there you go. We have one frame of the video that we're going to stack. We go on to the second frame here. Now this frame will need to move up. Therefore, we will transform the Y position. The Y position needs to go up and down. Yeah, up. And then we need to squash it to the lower third. So again, we need to do a field of view, and then maybe do a tilt. Yeah, I'm trying to get a hang of this. This is a bit weird, the controls. Okay, this is the second clip, and the third clip. Again, I need to move this all the way up. Up. Yeah, it's kind of different from Adobe. Adobe, you drag left and right. This, you need to drag up and down. It's a bit disorienting. Then I need to do the field of view. Then tilt it a bit. There you go. So we kind of get the same effect, the vertical stacking. The only thing missing are the black bars, which I need to figure out how to do it, but I'm sure we can do it quite easily here. And it looks quite responsive. Everything is pretty neat. The preview is pretty fast. Okay. Let me clean up the project. I don't need this clip, so I can just right click and I'll just press the delete key. There's empty space here. There isn't a repo delete, but I can do a drag and everything moves in. So quite cool, quite slick. How do I preview the video? Can I press the space bar? Nope, that doesn't work. Can I press enter? This is the bottom frame, the middle frame, and then the upper frame. Okay, so notice that the resolution is like lower resolution, but it's quite okay. I think at least the timing is there. So if I'm trying to match this up with the beats of the song, this will work. Yeah, and with Premiere, I won't be able to do this. It'll be too sluggish, right? Yeah, so far it's looking so good. I think I might use Final Cut Pro to edit an entire video for the next batch of videos for Sungei Bedok run, and I'll report what happened. Now, here's an interesting thought. Notice that we ran through one extra step to export these clips from Insta360 into a flat MP4 format in 360 degree. Could we have done the same in Premiere? Actually, we can. But let me show you how. If you go into Premiere Pro, I could import the same flat MP4 files, right? And I can drag them in here, right? But to make it to turn it into a vertical video, I need to apply this effect called video effects, immersive video, and VR projection. So I had to drag and drop this effect over to the clip, and then we'll see it here. Yeah, see, this is the video, the VR projection that was just added. Initially, it was set to stretch a fill frame, which looked horrible, so I unchecked it. Okay, but we see the same old things. Pan works, although it's a bit sluggish, I think. Okay. Tilt also kind of works, but a bit sluggish again. Final Cut Pro seems smoother. Roll, yeah, that way roll. That also works. Okay, but the weird thing is that there isn't a way to control the distortion. What if I want to, have a flatter video, not so much distorted? The settings are not there. So this is disparity adjustment. What is this for? I'm not sure. It doesn't do anything. So it's very weird. And what is this filtering? So filtering has got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have no idea what it does. So this is totally strange. In short, the editing experience is kind of awful, kind of lacking. Yeah, so I had to drag the VR projection in there. I had to set these things, and yet I can't find a setting that will change the distortion. If I want to make it slightly more distorted, I want to wrap it around a bit, or I want to make it less distorted and flatten. I don't see a setting here. So and then maybe I'll need to use a second effect, and that complicates things. Yeah. So the good thing about this is that yes, it's running a bit faster. I could do previews. Can I do Okay, see a difference now here is that the video becomes jerky but high resolution. So it's interesting comparison. Final Cut Pro will show this in lower resolution but at higher frame rates, and this will show it at at high resolution but lower frame rates. So the preview, the way the preview is sort of different. In short, yes, I could have imported the 360 degree MP4 clips directly into Premiere and did some editing by dragging the VR projection effect onto a clip, but it's incomplete. I can't figure out how to set the distortion, to make it less. Yeah. But in any case, since we are going ahead to export the clips into flat MPEG-4 format, why don't we just try Final Cut Pro? Maybe Final Cut Pro has got some really interesting features that we need, like for example, doing a super slow motion, which is supported by Final Cut Pro. And Final Cut Pro seems to have pretty good features for color correction. Maybe we'll do some color correction and make it more interesting, because the color looks a bit desaturated. If I compare it with Premiere, yeah, somehow the color is a bit different. But in any case, since Final Cut Pro has got integrated color correction facilities, let's do some color correction. Maybe make it more vivid, some more saturated, and hopefully our videos will look nicer. And that's it. This is our quick comparison of Final Cut Pro versus Adobe Premiere for editing 360-degree videos from Insta360 X5. I will probably use this Final Cut Pro to edit the next batch of videos. So stay tuned for my next batch of videos in which I edit, our run from Sungei Bedok with Final Cut Pro. See you in the next video. Bye.